All right, welcome. Really glad to be out of a leg brace here and able to record this for YouTube. Whether you are joining live or on YouTube, blocks will be helpful. And this just a note that I do have a knee injury, so you might notice me doing certain different things with my right leg. Just follow my verbal cues. And we'll get started today in a comfortable seat. That can look like one leg crossed in front of the other. If you're working on half lotus, one heel to the opposite hip. And then always the option to sit up on the heels. As you find your comfortable seat, ground down through the left and right sides of the body. As you feel ready, grounding down through the hips, close your eyes and close the mouth. In yoga, striving to breathe almost all the time just through the nose. As you breathe, start to awaken the diaphragm, that muscle that controls the movement of air down to the belly and back up and out through the torso. And then today, we'll really talk through the parts of our Ujjayi breath. For those that are newer, just want a refresher and how we can start to access a steady Ujjayi breath. So in Sanskrit, Ujjayi means victory. So Ujjayi pranayama is yoga victory breath control. So it's not just the breathing, but it's the active, steady control of the breath throughout your practice. Through Ujjayi, we're creating heat from behind the navel. We're striving to heat up the body, but keep the breath calm. So the first step for Ujjayi is to close down the mouth. Find your deepest breaths in and out through the nose. From here, keeping the mouth closed, start to close down the back of the throat slightly, controlling the flow of air, slightly blocking off air. Begin to hear an audible quality to the breath. It might sound quite loud at first, and with time, we're working to soften that Ujjayi breath, just so that you and someone right next to you could hear it. If you're not sure if you're accessing Ujjayi, that's okay. Just keep practicing that deep diaphragmatic breath. And then over the next couple rounds of breath, find a pace of breath you can maintain as we begin to move. 3, 4, or 5 counts per inhale, slight pause at the top. 3, 4, or 5 counts per exhale, slight pause at the bottom. With your next inhale, bring the palms to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Press thumbs to heart, heart to thumbs. We'll open our practice with one round of Om, the universal sound of nature. If you're newer to chanting, you can always chant at any pitch you like. You're welcome to listen or join in actively, preparing to inhale here. And then open the eyes, keep your breath moving. Right away, bend the knees, plant the feet nice and wide in front of you, hands behind the body. So your knees are wider than hips distance apart here. And then walk your hands together, fingers pointed towards you, squeeze the shoulder blades together, turn the gaze up, feel the sternum lift toward the sky, press down through the feet. Deep inhale here. Exhale, let the knees fall to the right. Inhale, knees through center, arms stay active. Exhale, knees to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, back through center. And on the exhale, lift the hips any amount. Maybe buttocks fully lifts off the mat, maybe not. We're in kind of a wide-legged tabletop here. Option to release the head and neck back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And breathe. Good. Starting to feel some heat here. One more inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, lower to the sits bones. Come to a seat. And then extend your legs forward and together. Starting to get into the hamstrings here. Bend your right knee, just enough you can catch the right big toe with the fingers or hand, and then start to sit tall. From here, start to lift your right leg up and away. Maybe that knee stays bent. Maybe you're ready to straighten the leg any amount. Check in with the lower back. Notice if you collapse the shoulders. Gaze is straight forward here. You can place the left hand on the left thigh as a reminder to ground that leg down. Stay here if you're ready to go deeper. Bring the hands behind the calf or the heel, sole of the foot coming more toward the sky. Not your deepest expression yet here. Find your edge through your breath. And then we'll be opening the hip out to the right. Catch that big toe once more with the right two fingers. Deep inhale here. Exhale, right leg opens wide, stay sitting tall, and then pull that right foot back in space. Feeling this between the inner thighs. Next, inhale, leg through center, just a breath. Exhale, right sole of the foot inside the left leg, setting up for a twist. Right hand behind the body. See if you can get your right hand right to the middle of your buttocks here. Sit tall. Deep inhale. Exhale, wrap the left arm around the right leg and start to twist to the right. You can stay here if you're ready to deepen the twist. Work your left elbow outside your right leg and breathe. Left toes stay flexed here, protecting the knee. Marichyasana C. Next, inhale, come back through center. Send your right leg long. Reground through the legs, feet together. And we'll take that all on the second side. Bend the left knee. Catch the left big toe with the fingers or hand. Sit tall. And then start to lift the left heel up and away. Maybe the knee stays bent. Maybe you straighten the leg. It's okay if you have a different depth side to side here. Right palm to the right thigh, ground that right leg down. Use your exhales to draw the left leg just a bit closer to the chest. Then if you have more space, hands can come behind the heels or the calf. You start to lift sole of the foot toward the sky. Find that edge where there's challenge but no pain. And breathe. Recatch your left big toe with the left fingers, preparing to open to the left. Deep inhale here. Exhale, open the left leg wide, and then pull the left foot back in space. Back muscles are active here, abdominal muscles pulling in. Good. Inhale through center. Exhale, plant the left foot inside the right leg. Sit tall. Left hand behind the body. See if you can get your hand nice and close to that space between the buttocks. Flex your right toes, deep inhale. Exhale, right arm around the left leg, twist to the left. Keep sitting tall here. And with each exhale, actively contract the belly muscles up under the ribs. Option to go deeper, right elbow outside the left leg. A couple breaths here, slow and steady. Good, one more inhale. Exhale back to center, send the left leg long, shake out the legs, and then we'll cross the knees and ankles, roll over to hands and knees, coming right to tabletop pose. We'll tuck all 10 toes here, shoulders over wrists, pointer fingers shining forward. With your next inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, Marjaryasana. Exhale, tuck and round, chin to chest, Bhitivasana. Moving through cow-cats on your breath. If you lost your Ujjayi breath, bring that back, that audible oceanic quality. In and out through the nose. After your next exhale, meet me back in neutral tabletop. Gaze between the hands. Pull up behind the rib cage. With an inhale, send the right leg back, plant the right toes, and then start to rock forward and back, getting into wrists and toe creases here. Right leg is active and strong. And then come into stillness. Press down through the palms. Next inhale, lift the right leg up. Option to reach the left arm forward, and we'll hold. Really press through all the fingers of the right hand here. Right foot reaching back in space. Deep inhale here. Exhale to tabletop. Tuck your toes, send the hips up and back. Our first downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Begin to pedal through the heels, bending one knee toward the mat and then the other. As you pedal, press down through the palms, shoulders drawing down and back. Find your longest shape here. Back of the neck is fully relaxed. And then find some stillness in your down dog. Let the heels drop toward the mat. They don't need to touch. Next inhale, lift the right leg up and back. Eka Pada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Three-legged dog. See if you can lift that right heel up without opening the hip to the right. Maybe gaze turns all the way back toward the left ankle. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Next inhale, forward to plank. Lower the knees and come back to tabletop, hips stacked right over knees. And we'll take that on the second side. Inhale, send the left leg back, plant the toes to the mat, and start to rock forward and back. Arms are straight here, getting into the toe creases and wrists. And then find some stillness. Press down through both palms. Take an inhale, lift the left leg up and back. Option to reach right arm forward. Either way, rib cage pulling in, gaze is low. And breathe. Long line from right hand to left heel. One more inhale. Exhale, tabletop, tuck your toes, hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Couple breaths in down dog, finding stillness. Push the hips further back and breathe. Next inhale, left leg up and back. Eka Pada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Send that left heel high as you press the right foot down. Deep inhale here. Exhale to down dog. One more inhale. Exhale, send your knees wide, big toes touch. Press your hips back, wide-legged Balasana, child's pose. We're working to get buttocks to touch the heels here. And then reach your arms forward, plant your elbows to the mat, bring your palms together. Start to draw your thumbs toward the back of the neck. Finding a balance here between walking the elbows forward and together, and then pressing the hips back toward the heels. Come back to this shape at any point throughout our practice if you lose your Ujjayi breath or if the mind gets distracted. Good, one more full breath cycle. Next inhale, press up to hands and knees, tuck your toes, send the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, forward to plank, Phalakasana. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, elbows to ribs. And we'll hold here. If you're newer to classical yoga, this might feel a little funny. Toes are actively tucking to the mat, belly pulling up even as the back arches. And then draw your elbows toward the ribs, gaze comes forward. Next inhale, slide to the belly, keep the toes tucked and hover palms and knees. Gaze stays low, classical cobra. Create space between ears and shoulders, pull the elbows back. Good, deep inhale, lift the rib cage up. Exhale, press through knees or plank, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward, come up on the toes, and then slowly tiptoe toward the hands, drawing the weight forward to the palms, pressing down to the mat. And in your own time, meet me in a forward fold at the top of the mat, Uttanasana. As you find your fold, two options for the feet here and throughout our practice. For more intensity, big toes touching, heels slightly apart, or you can bring the feet wider apart. This will create some more space through the backs of the legs. And then catch the opposite elbows with the palms. Start to sway gently left and right. As you sway, explore how far forward you can draw your weight, drawing weight to the toes as you picture the hips lifting higher in space. Good. The knees are bent, maybe straightening the legs just a bit more as the hamstrings start to open. And make your way through center, find stillness, folding forward. Next, inhale, half lift, flat back, fingers to shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, release the arms, top of the mat. Our first mountain pose, Tadasana. Check back in with your feet here. Outer edges of the feet parallel, and then whole body is active. Reach your fingers down, feel the collarbones open. Preparing for classical Surya Namaskar, sun salutes on the breath. Inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale, shoulders back. Inhale, reach arms forward and up. Exhale, forward and fold. Right foot steps back. Inhale, lower right knee. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Option to lower knees here. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, elbows to ribs. Inhale, slide to the belly. Hover palms and knees. Exhale, press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, step to the top and fold. Inhale to rise, arms forward and up. Exhale, heart center, second side. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot back. Inhale, lower left knee. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank, Phalakasana. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide forward, hover palms and knees. Exhale, back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot forward. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, step up and fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, heart, again like this. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Right foot back. Inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, forward, Phalakasana. Exhale, lower, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot forward, inhale. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to rise, hips forward. Exhale, heart, last side. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot back. Inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, roll forward, Phalakasana. Exhale, lower, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot forward, inhale. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to rise. Exhale, heart, and release the arms back to mountain pose, top of the mat. Nicely done on the breath. Ground down through the feet. Come back to that slow, steady Ujjayi pranayama. And then close down both eyes. Next, inhale, lift the toes off the mat. Slowly lower one toe at a time. Create space between the toes. And then do that twice more on your breath. After the next round, ground fully through both feet, pressing down through pinky and big toes. And then open the eyes, adding on. Inhale, arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. As we begin to build heat here, remember to find rest in down dog or child's pose at any point. Next, inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step it through for high lunge. So the back heel stays lifted. With an inhale, rise up, reach both arms high. And then we're working to stack that heel over the back toes. You can always keep a slight bend in your left leg for less intensity here. And we'll move on the breath. Inhale, reach through the arms. Exhale, bend the left knee, lightly tap to the mat. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. Exhale, tap the left knee. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower. Good. This time, inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend the elbows, turn the gaze up. Prana Mudra. Imagine someone pressing your palms back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach the arms high. Exhale, reach the arms forward and down. Find your blocks or the mat for pyramid variation. Torso folding over the front leg. That back heel stays lifted here. And then either with hands or blocks, walk your hands halfway back on your mat on either side of that right leg. And then start to draw your shoulders back, create space between ears and shoulders. And breathe. Use your exhales to contract the belly, folding just a bit further. Next, inhale, walk your hands and blocks forward, and then frame your front foot, bend your right knee, plant your back foot. We're setting up for warrior one. Press down through both feet. With an inhale, rise back up, reach the arms high, front knee over ankle. So this time in Virabhadrasana 1, that back heel is planted. We'll need our blocks for this next sequence. Take an inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, right hand to the right hip. Inhale, reach the left arm forward. Exhale, left hand inside your right foot, coming to a block at any height. And then send your right arm high, twisted triangle. Parivrtta Trikonasana. Gaze turning all the way up toward the right thumb here. To go deeper, hand and block can come all the way outside your right foot. Make sure if you go deeper, that right hip keeps pulling in toward the body. And breathe. Good. Press through that front foot for balance here. Deep inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, frame your front foot, bend the knee, runner's lunge. And then just rock forward and back a few times. Find some stillness. And next, inhale, step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, lower halfway or to the belly. Untuck your toes. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, hips back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. A couple deep breaths here. Smooth your breath out. Find that balance of sthira and sukha, effort and ease. And we'll take that all on the second side. Next, inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step between the hands for high lunge. Back heel stays lifted. Press down through the feet. With an inhale, rise up. Reach the arms high. Ashtha Chandrasana. Make sure that front knee is over the ankle here. And then draw the shoulders back and down. Pull the arms back in space. We'll find those knee taps on the breath. Inhale, reach through the arms. Exhale, bend the right knee, lightly tap. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. This time, inhale to rise. Exhale, bend the elbows, gaze turns up. Prana Mudra. Palms pressing back in space, shoulder blades squeezing together. Good. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach the arms up. Exhale, reach forward first and then fold. Hands to blocks at any height, or maybe all the way to the mat. Let the torso drape over the left leg and back heel stays lifted. Parsvottanasana. From here, walk your hands and blocks halfway back on your mat, either side of that front leg. As the crown of the head reaches forward, pull the shoulders down and away from the ears. And breathe. Next, inhale, walk your hands forward, frame your front foot, and then bend your left knee. Plant your right foot down. We're setting up to rise to warrior one. Press down through both feet. With an inhale, rise up. Reach both arms high. Hips stay squared forward toward the top of your mat. Right heel pressing down. Feel that opening through the front of the right hip. Virabhadrasana 1. And once more, we'll want to block for this next section. Take an inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, left hand to the left hip. Inhale, reach the right arm forward first. Exhale, right hand to the block inside your left foot. And that block can be at any height here. Next, inhale, sweep the left arm high. Stack left shoulder over right. Get the gaze up towards your left thumb. Parivrtta Trikonasana. Really important to check in with the hips here. Left hip pulling in, right hip pulling forward. To go deeper, you can bring that right hand to a block outside your left foot. A couple breaths to find your edge. And breathe. Good, really good shoulder alignment. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release the hands, frame your front foot. Bend the left knee, runner's lunge, and then take that rocking motion forward and back. Find your breath. Find some stillness here, press down through the palms, and with an inhale, step back to downward facing dog. We're all moving toward child's pose, but option for a flow first. If you're flowing, inhale forward to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga or to the belly. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, hips back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. One more inhale. Exhale, lower the knees, legs together. Untuck your toes. Traditional child's pose. Press your hips back. And then reach your arms back as well. Give your shoulders a rest. Forehead to the mat or a block. 3 or 4 slow, steady Ujjayi breaths here. And just take notice of any new qualities or sensation in the breath, the body, or the mind. With your next inhale, reach the arms forward, press up to hands and knees, and meet me back in downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. From down dog, 2 options. If this is enough intensity, if down dog feels like work, stay right here. Otherwise, we'll move to dolphin, Shishulasana. For dolphin, keep your feet as they are, lower to the forearms. Keep your hands and forearms parallel, shoulders over elbows. This is a great way to prep for inversions and arm balances. Stay here or start to tiptoe the feet toward the elbows. Gaze turning back toward the feet. We need nice open hamstrings for this pose. So we start to stack hips on top of shoulders. To go even deeper, option to inhale, lift the right leg up. Hold for a breath or 2. Breathing deeply. And then exhale, lower the right leg. Option to inhale, lift the left leg up and hold. And exhale, lower. Good. Next, inhale, walk your feet back, coming into forearm plank. And we'll hold forearm plank for just a breath or 2, buttocks below the back of the head. And we're moving back to dolphin. Inhale, tiptoe onto your toes, walk your feet toward the elbows. From here, press back up to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. From down dog, inhale, roll forward, lower the knees, and then find tabletop pose, knees over hips. On your own breath, just take a few rounds of cow cats. Cow cats are a form of vinyasa as well. Vinyasa meaning to connect breath with movement in an intentional way. Good, and then come back to your neutral tabletop. Toes stay tucked, hips up and back, downward facing dog. From down dog, take a deep bend in the knees, and then walk your hands back toward the feet for a forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. From here, catch the big toes with the first 2 fingers, cap it with the thumb. For less intensity, bring your feet wider apart. Take an inhale, half lift, reach the chest forward. Exhale, fold, pull the belly in and up. For Padangusthasana, hand to big toe pose. If the elbows start to bend, let them splay out to the sides. And then once more, draw the weight forward to the toes. Actively press the big toes into the fingers. And breathe. Next, inhale, half lift, let the toes go. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, palms touch, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, release the arms. Staying at the back of the mat, moving towards standing balance. If you're newer to yoga, you like to use a wall, you can move so that your left fingers brush the wall here. Otherwise, we'll start with both hands on the hips, feet hips distance apart. And then ground down through your left toes. To start, just lift your right heel off the mat, enough that you can put all your weight on that left leg. And maybe you stay here, lightly lifting and lowering those right toes. To go further, catch your right big toe with the fingers, stand tall, and start to straighten your right leg forward any amount. If you wobble, just come back in. A steady gaze will help with balance here. And then option to reach the left arm up and overhead. We're drawing everything in toward the midline here. Hips drawing in, Shoulders back and down. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Upright, hand to big toe pose. Beautiful. Next, inhale, reach both arms up, send that right leg forward, and we'll hold for 3, for 2, for 1, and lower. Nicely done. Shake out the hips, tap out the thighs. And then if you're using a wall, this time move so that the right fingers brush the wall for support. Let go of what happened on the first side. We'll start feet hips distance apart, hands to hips. Spread your right toes nice and wide. With an inhale, lift the left heel up first. Draw all the weight to that right leg. Find your steady gaze. Maybe you stay here, lightly lifting and lowering those left toes. And whether you went deeper on the first side or not, option to reach for the left big toe with the left fingers. Standing nice and tall, maybe straightening that left leg forward. If you straighten the leg, keep pulling your left shoulder back into the socket. Coming back in, if you wobble, slow and steady breaths. Option to reach the right arm up and overhead, fingers spread wide, reaching toward the sky. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Good. Next, inhale, reach both arms up, send that left leg forward, and we'll hold for 3, for 2, for 1, release, shake it out. If you moved off your mat, meet us back at the back of the mat. And then we'll bring the feet to the edges of the mat here and just start to take some windmill motions, letting the hands wrap around both sides of the body. Reconnect to that slow, steady breath. Maybe your breath got choppy. Allowing a pause after each inhale and exhale will help to smooth it out. Eventually coming towards stillness, heel toe your feet closer together. And from the back of the mat, inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Option for one last flow here on your breath. If you flow, really slow it down. If you are flowing, eventually meeting back in down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good. Really nice integrity of flows there. In our last down dog, we'll hold for about 5 more breaths. Really tap into that sense of rest. With time, we're working for down dog to feel like a resting shape, the same way that tabletop would. One more full breath cycle here. Take a deep inhale. On the exhale, lower the knees, slide the legs to one side, and meet me in a seat on the mat. We'll start with legs straight forward and together, inner edges of the feet touching. Good. And then use your hands to pull the flesh out from under your sits bones. This helps us to really roll the shoulders back and down, shoulders stacked right over hips. Once more, bend the right knee, catch the right big toe with the right fingers, and then start to straighten your right leg forward and up. Maybe feeling more open than when we began our practice. Stay right here or bring the hands behind the heel. Pull the right leg toward the torso. If that right leg comes pretty close to the belly, you can start to work your forearms behind the leg. Gaze stays straight forward here. Left toes are flexed and breathe. Good. Lots of core and back engagement. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly lower the right leg. Come back to your tall seat. And then this time bend the left knee. Catch the left big toe with the first 2 fingers. Sit nice and tall. Take an inhale, start to straighten the left leg forward and up. Right toes are flexed. And maybe pulling that left leg a little closer to the body. If you have the space, hands reach for the heel. With each exhale, pulling that straight leg toward the chest. And again, if you find that left leg comes pretty close to the body, you can start to work your forearms behind your left calf. And breathe. Right leg grounding down, shoulders relaxed. Utthita Ardha Paschimottanasana, upright half west facing pose. Take one more inhale. Exhale, slowly lower both legs to the mat. And then we'll have a little play here. We'll take that same motion with both legs at the same time. We'll work toward rocking and rolling forward and back. So this time, bend both knees, catch both big toes with the fingers, and then start to shift the weight back to the tailbone. Maybe you stay here, heels hovering off the mat. Maybe you start to straighten both legs forward. Legs should be touching here. Couple breaths to find your balance, holding on to the big toes. And then from here, we'll play with some core work if you like. With an inhale, rolling to the back, feet up and overhead. Exhale, roll forward, come to balance, maybe knees to the chest, maybe knees back straight. Trying with your own breath a few times, always inhaling to roll back. On the exhale, contract the belly, roll forward. Good. Couple more rounds if you like. Really nice effort. One more round if you're still finding movement. And then we'll finish sitting upright, holding the big toes once more. Good. Deep inhale here. Exhale, release. Bring the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. Hips opening wide. Did a lot of work with our legs straight today, finding a little release through the hamstrings here. Thumbs to the soles of the feet. And then start to pull your heels as close as you comfortably can toward the body. Good, deep inhale here. Exhale, reach forward first, draw the shoulders back, and then fold, chin to chest. We're working to tuck our elbows to the rib cage here, just like our yoga push-up. Shoulders drawing down and back. And then visualize your nose energetically reaching toward that space between the feet. With each inhale, crown of the head lengthens forward in space. And on the exhales, belly contracts, folding deeper. Bound angle pose. A couple more slow and steady breaths. If you feel any sensitivity in the knee in this shape, you can always bring the feet further away from the body. Before rising up, engage the core. Next, inhale, sit all the way up. Exhale, use your hands, draw the legs together, plant the feet, and then just fold the torso over the legs. Give yourself a little hug. You can strongly draw the chin to the chest here, stretching through the back of the neck. 2 Ujjayi breath cycles here. Next, inhale, sit all the way up. Exhale, release, and make your way to the back. If you had any blankets or props underneath, slide those aside. And we'll meet fully on the back body. Plant the feet wide to the outer edges of your mat. Big toes out, heels slightly in. And then we'll start to find windshield wiper motions with the knees, falling to one side and then the other. For a deeper quad stretch, a stretch through the front of the legs. You can walk the heels closer to the buttocks. Use this movement to slow down your breath. Find that same rhythmic pace of breath as when we began our practice. And then the next time you balance out left and right sides, meet me back through center. Take an inhale, draw both knees to the chest, keep the head and shoulders on the mat, and just start to rock and roll forward and back, left and right. Give yourself a little massage and let the face soften fully. And then meet me through center, knees drawing in. Deep inhale here. Exhale, release. Plant the feet hips distance apart. And extend your arms alongside the body. So we're moving toward plow pose here. We won't take the full shoulder stand sequence, just plow, halasana. Starting with arms alongside the body, palms down. Take an inhale, lift the legs straight up. Using momentum, lift the legs up and overhead. Bring your hands to the lower back. Really important to keep your hands here, especially if you're newer to this pose. And then walk your shoulder blades together. Maybe feet are hovering high off the ground. Maybe toes come to touch the ground behind the back of your head. And breathe. Even as the chest compresses toward the face, keep the face soft. Good. If the toes are completely on the ground behind your head, you can release the arms from the lower back, extend them long, plant the forearms down, adding a bit of challenge here. We'll hold for a couple more rounds of breath. If you release the arms from the lower back, bring them back, support the lower back. Take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, slowly lower the hips toward the mat as the legs reach straight forward and up. Eventually lowering to the back body, legs toward the sky, arms alongside the body once more. From here, point your toes strongly. Deep inhale. Exhale, send the legs forward and down, slow and steady. And meet me all the way on the back. Good. Next, inhale, moving toward happy baby. Bend the knees, catch outside the feet or the legs, and then start to draw knees toward armpits. Make sure hands are outside the feet or legs here rather than inside. This allows the chest to open, shoulder blades grounding toward the mat. Option to straighten one or both legs and rock side to side. We open the hamstrings quite a bit today, maybe reaching for both big toes with the fingers, sending the legs wide. Few rounds of breath here. Inhaling through the nose, slight pause. Exhaling through the nose, slight pause. We're moving toward Shavasana for our final asana today. If there's another pose you need, I'll leave space here. You're welcome to stay in happy baby. Find another shape. About 10 or 15 rounds of breath. Whenever you've had enough, we'll meet fully on the back body. Whatever you're choosing here, start to actively count your breath in your mind. Use this counting as a way to just become very present in the body. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, and pause. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Noticing how just through that conscious breath control, pranayama, we can regulate the nervous system. If you're finding movement, find your second side, take any counter pose you need. And if you haven't already, begin to move fully to the back body, finding any clothing or props you'd like to be comfortable and warm. If the lower back is sore, always the option to roll something up under the knees, creating a slight bend to the knees. Or you can always place a blanket or prop on top of the hips, helping to ground down the physical body toward the mat. As you find your long shape, Reach each heel just a bit further from the body. Create some length through the back of the legs, and then let the feet splay out as they do. Tuck the shoulder blades just a bit closer together, feeling the chest rise slightly as collarbones relax to left and right sides. And then draw the chin a bit closer to the chest, lengthen the back of the neck. Keeping the mouth closed down. Take one more inhale through the nose, slow and steady. One more exhale through the nose. And then turn off your breath control. Mouth stays closed, but abdominal muscles relax. Let go of that constriction in the back of the throat. Nowhere else to be, no more effort to make. Just allowing yourself this shape of quiet and stillness. You notice chitta vritti, mind thoughts, expectations, distractions coming up. Simply focus on the slow, gentle movement of the breath. I'll chant us into Shavasana today with a mantra. As I chant, let go of my voice and cues. As you go inward, feeling light. Om Hara, Om Hari, Om Haru, Om Harai, Om Hara, Om Hara, Om Hari, Om Haru, Om Harai, Om Hara, Om Hara. Harai, Om Hara Au, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Take a long, slow inhale through the nose. Feel the belly rise. And a long, slow exhale. As you feel ready, introduce small movements to the fingers and toes. Gently roll the neck back and forth, up and down. And take notice of anything new that's come up in your practice. Hold on to what serves you and just exhale aside what doesn't. Remembering that each time we come to our mats, we get to begin just as we are in the present. In your own time, move toward a full body stretch, maybe interlacing fingers overhead, reaching hands to feet. Eventually drawing both knees into the chest, rolling to the right side body. As we prepare to bring head above heart, a couple deep breaths here. When you feel ready to rise, eyes closed or gaze soft, press yourself up to a seat, and we'll meet as we begin our practice sitting tall. As you find your seat, ground down equally through both sides of the body. Maybe noticing some new openness, length through the spine or hips. Lightly roll the shoulders back and down. And then we'll find Jnana Mudra today, mudra of discernment, inner knowledge. Reach the arms forward toward the knees, turn the palms up, and then bring thumb and first finger to touch. Let the last three fingers open long. Deep breath cycle here. The light within me honors and respects the light within each of you. Thank you. Mil gracias. We bow and say a word. Namaste. Thank you so much, whether you join live or on YouTube. And it's been great to have new East Coast folks jumping on the YouTube classes. So let me know if you have requests for the future. And thanks for donating if you can. Hope to practice with you again soon.